Let's talk about Osha and the stranger, Sexy Sith. So, Sexy Sith and Osha, he's basically took her in, patched her wound up, got some stew, you know what I'm saying, boiling. Said, hey man, you can eat what you want, and he's out. He's not in his little lair because it looks like it's a cave. So she's walking around like, oh my God, this, that, feeling herself. Like, I feel pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So she walks out and is trying to find your boy. Doesn't she take his lightsaber in the process?
After she follows him. She
follows him. And your man says, you know what?
He's gonna purify cells.
It's time to
purify cells in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Yes,
but whatever that planet is, whatever.
So similar to our boy Aemon Targaryen, minus a frontal nudity and just the nastiness of being a whorehouse. He gets naked and takes a soapless bath. I just want to talk about how your man had no washcloth. He had no soap. He just was. He said, you know what? The coarseness of the sea salt is going to exfoliate the dirt off of me.
Man. And like he really did go into the ocean with none of the things that we said, and he just took some water. Splash.
Let me get some of this Sith dirt off of me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he's walking back like. Can't say this out loud. So Osha's is on the bay. You know what I'm saying? On the shoreline.
She snatches up the lightsaber.
The rocket shores. He said, hey, so you like how I feel, don't you? Why this man so sexy, yo? This is so horny right now. Like this,
because my man went from being a straight cornball, little like that.
Your man.
To my man, yo, he was diesel as hell under them robes, and he sat there.
Tony, I hate this show, but this is the clear analogy. Your man went from Steve to Stefan.
Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so Stefan, Sexy Sith, is talking to Osha, and he's like, hey, I'm basically doing what a Sith does and just sowing seeds of discord and trying to get her to get her off her game and all that.
You want to know what he's really doing? He's taking seducing her to the dark side to a whole nother level. He's stupid.
So not only am I gonna be your master, I'm gonna be your master.
It's like we always hear. We always hear about when someone falls. They got seduced by the dark side.
Nah.
Yeah, we really did just see
your man walked out the water again, which is a clear phallic allegory. While she is holding his lightsaber, he walks out the water, butt ass naked.
Can I put my clothes on?
I'm like, I'm so vulnerable right now. Which let me put my clothes on. And she's like, yeah, go ahead, do that.
My man hit the Jodeci. He really wanted to hit it with the don't talk, just listen.
Baby, won't you just stay for a little while? Anyway, all right. I'm sorry. Serious. Really, nothing happened in this episode. Yeah. So they get out and go back to the little lair, you know what I'm saying, talking, and before they go inside though, like she's obviously mad and wants to talk, and he's like, hey man, essentially you should just join the dark side. Like, I want to, like, what do you want? I want the power of two, not the power of many. Right. Only two. So he's like, hey, I need you as my basically my acolyte, because your sister, she wasn't really about it. Like, she only thing she wanted was revenge, and like, I need more than just revenge. Essentially, like, and you got that.
he said she didn't want the same thing I wanted.
Yeah.
That's when he was like the power of 2 or something like. You said that or whatever.
She just wanted revenge.
Right. Also, what was funny too, with all of that, is like how welcoming he was to her and everything. Because he was like, hey, just use the Force or whatever, and she's like, oh, when if she was like, are you a Jedi? He was like, long time ago. And she was like, there's nothing about you in the history book. He said, like I said, a long time ago.
Yeah, and which could imply is like that man is really, really old, or he's just lying.
Or he's just jumping from body to body as a Sith.
See, now, like, this is where like we come up with ideas as fans and like to make the show better than what it's ever going to be, because we know that's not going to happen. If that happens, wow! But it's too far fetched.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So and then he also was telling her about and then she was like, well, if that's the case, that the more that you don't use the Force or step away from it, the weaker your connection is. And he was like, that's not always true.
Who told you that?
Like Jedi, he was like, oh, there's other ways to do it. And she was like, what? He says, I can sense your anger. I can sense your hate. I can sense your fear. And she's like, those are paths to the dark side. He was like, from a certain point of view. He was like, he would like, it's from a certain point of view type thing, basically.
Dark schmark. You know what I'm saying?
You saw how I washed all them boys in a thing or whatever like that. And basically that entire, we're gonna just we're just gonna go with the sections where
yeah.
So staying right there, they're talking and he's also playing on her emotions, and it got kind of creepy for a second, made me think like, he was like, because she was like, where's So? Did you kill him? And then asked about her sister, and he's just like, you ask about him before your sister. He says, he says, is there, he's asking, is there something more than y'all, connection of just, he says, I know the Padawan and the master is strong, but it was like he was implying like something else kind of was going on.
Yeah, that are like, like he's really just trying, he's all in her head. And she just doesn't understand what's going on, like a predator would do.
Yes, very much, so very much so. And later on, because he tells her, hey, because they're like on a little row of islands, and the islands are kind of close by. He was like, hey, you better swim if you want to get to the ship that's on this other island. You better swim before, saying the seas are kind of rough, or you can wait until the high tide washes out. But she stayed there with him, and you see him repairing his helmet that was the courtesans with the courtesans and stuff like that. And she's looking at him do that, and he looks at him and was like, courtesan. He was like, and he taps on him, was like, yeah, this is very helpful when you're dueling somebody with a lightsaber and stuff like that. Put it in there. And she was just like, yeah, I saw what you did, and she was like, basically like, how can you see with this thing on or whatever? And he's like, it's like when I put it on, he says, only thing, he says, I put it on, he says, you take with you whatever you put on, which is the Force and whatever else you got going on with you. And and that's what he said, because that's what he said. He said, you take with you the Force and everything else, and you can block everything else out or whatever, because
he said it was like the deprivation mask they wore as younglings. You know how they hit little fake things on to be trying to feel the Force to hit. So and he basically was saying, he was like, he looked at her and was like, want to try it on? And she's like, want to give it a go? And she was like, no, I'm good, I don't need that type stuff or whatever. And that's kind of really all. Yeah, also don't forget about like the most heated part when it was outside and he was really pressing her and she likes a lightsaber to his neck.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? She was like, he got her pissed, and she was like really close, and he was like, So are you gonna do it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basically the hate and the anger stuff came out, and she was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, because he was pressing her saying like, "Oh, the Jedi just threw you away.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Like they
yeah,
threw me
yeah,
away." And what he said, just
yeah,
accept it. They did. That's what she
yeah,
ignited. And
yeah,
I mean, she had it like literally inches,
yeah.
centimeters away from decapitating dude or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's the thumbnail. And then she cools down, goes back inside, and puts the helmet on
Yeah.
herself, which you cannot see out of
Right. No, you
at
can't.
all. Like it's yeah. So he's definitely
And you
he's
saw like a little,
strong. He's
and you
strong in the force.
and you saw like a little call to Darth Vader with her having the
Yeah,
helmet
the
on
breathing.
and the
Yeah, yeah,
hard
yeah,
breathing and it
yeah.
fading to black and you still hear the breathing during the credits and stuff like that. Yeah,
Cute.
it was a deprivation. It was like almost a deprivation tank.